Howdy ho, everybody. I am Donut, and I'm here with...
They're mates.
I have seen South Park of Season 20-something.
I'm watching it blinds.
And this is Season 4, Episode 3. I'm already forgetting what number, or close to forgetting what number we're on. Season 4, Episode 3, Timmy 2000.
Oh boy. So, I guess I'm just gonna have to accept they're all 2000s.
Yep, pretty much.
But Timmy 2000s.
Alright, anything to say before we get into it? Any predictions?
I am glad that Timmy was introduced prior to Timmy 2000s. Yeah, I definitely care more about focus episodes when it's not this person was introduced and also it's their focused episode. And, like, there is a difference between that and, like, a, random kid who only shows up once ever.
Right. Like, I honestly do not remember what this episode is at all. Because, when I think of, like, oh, what episode was Timmy introduced in? I think, yeah, he's introduced in the very beginning of Season 4. He's introduced in the Tooth Fairy episode. Like, when I think of Timmy's introduction, I think of him being pulled up as the, part of the Tooth Fairy racket and everything like that. That image sticks out in my mind very clearly. But yeah, so, I agree with what you're saying. It's like a focus episode, but it's not like the episode where they're introduced in, which is why I'm excited for this as well. I don't know if it's going to be one of the ones where, 5 seconds into it, I'm going to be like, oh, it's this episode. Or if it's going to be one of the ones where I just don't remember any of it. Either way, I'm excited to get into it as you are.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. If you want to see the full length, check it out in the Patreon below for $4 a month. Let's get into it.
I hope you all did your homework last night because we're going to talk about pages 42 through 612. First of all, who can tell me what year the Founding Fathers got together?
1776.
Good job, Wendy. And what was that document called?
Oh, please, God, don't. Father in heaven, I beg of you.
Kyle.
Oh, thank you, Lord.
Oh, God.
The Declaration of Independence?
Very good, Kyle. Now, who can tell me what famous person wrote the Declaration of Independence? How about the new student, Timmy? Timmy!
So he is a new
You,
student.
Timmy. Try again.
I actually thought he was supposed to be here for the whole
Timmy,
time.
did you
Or
not
maybe
do
just
your
new
homework?
to this class, but not school.
Sure.
Mr. Garrison, haven't you figured it out? Timmy's retarded.
Don't call people names, Stanley.
But he is.
Now, Timmy, you need to work on your study skills.
Duh.
Are you mocking me? Because if you are, I have no problem sending your butt to the principal's office. Come on. That does it.
Oh, boy.
I think I may know what the problem is. Attention deficit disorder, or ADD. It's very common in kids his age. They have tests for that kind of thing now, okay?
Alright, I do remember what episode this is now.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to read you a book called The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. At the end of the novel, I'll ask you a few questions. Are you ready? Okay, here we go.
Why are Timmy's parents not here?
Okay, now, Timmy, can you tell me, in Chapter 7, what kind of car did Gatsby drive? Timmy! Well, that settles it.
Huh?
This young man definitely has attention deficit
That's
disorder.
not a question.
I knew it.
What can we do for him, Doctor?
Well, ADD is fairly common in kids today. I'm going to prescribe some Ritalin, and we'll see how that goes for little Timmy.
It's feeling pretty real.
Nightmare flashbacks for me.
Please excuse Timmy from all questions and all homework as he has been diagnosed with attention deficit.
Oh, no, Cartman.
brother.
He doesn't have to do homework.
That's just swell, Timmy. Looks like you've outsmarted the principal and the counselor. Timmy. Very well, I guess you're excused from homework.
Hey, wait. I think maybe I have attention dysfunction disorder. Yeah, me too. I've got ADD. Woo-hoo. Yeah, me too.
It's gay. In Chapter 12, what kind of bottles did Miss Van Kampen talk about? Anybody?
I'm sure Wendy's even here.
Anybody? My God,
Yeah,
these
she's
children
trying to get
all
out of
have
it.
ADD.
Hooray. Hooray.
It's Ritalin for all of you.
I remember these guys.
Oh, he's the pedophile.
Yeah.
Dude, we suck. Hey, that's not the right attitude, Jonesy. The Battle of the Bands is tomorrow night. Dude, we never win the Battle of the Bands. It's no big deal. Not a big deal. This year's winner gets to open for Phil Collins at Lollapalooza.
Oh, boy.
That's no big deal.
Hey, you guys, we stop fighting.
We just gotta practice more.
Gee, we've been practicing for 8 years, Skylar.
Hey, am I the leader of this band or not?
What was that? I don't know, man. Who is that? that?
Timmy!
You a singer, man?
Oh boy.
Timmy! Dude, that's hot! Yeah!
It all makes sense now. I could never get Stanley to pay attention when his grandfather told him stories about the 30s.
I know what you mean. Kyle gets so hyped, but sometimes he runs around and screams like a little 8-year-old.
No.
Your son may experience a small lack of energy, but that's all.
All right.
Oh, and he might start seeing little pink Christina Aguilera monsters, but that's to be expected.
Oh, my.
1, 2, 3, 4! Timmy! Timmy!
That handicap dude rules! Yeah! You guys are terrible. How can you laugh at that poor kid?
Man, I like that you could already see the meta commentary they're doing.
Oh yeah.
Dude, it's Timmy. No way.
It's really the blessing of we're only 3 episodes in, but they make them on such short notice that.
That was awesome. Yeah, Timmy rules.
Boys, you shouldn't laugh at him. He's handicapped.
But he's funny.
How would you like to be handicapped? Do you think that would be funny? You're making him feel bad.
He looks pretty happy to me.
Oh, you people make me sick.
Dude, this is a no-brainer! This year's Battle of the Bands winner and the band that gets to open for Phil Collins is Timmy! We did it, dude!
I'm so scared to see Phil Collins.
Yes, I'm a rocker!
It's an interesting angle.
I felt very flat.
Tonight we analyze the new rock sensation Timmy, the controversial new band that has taken the country by storm, already playing at several large venues this month.
Where is Timmy's
Phil
parents?
Collins is not happy.
Well, I think it's a horrible tragedy, isn't it? I mean,
No.
people aren't gonna see Timmy for his musical skills. They're laughing at him, and I think you shouldn't laugh at people with disabilities. Society has to learn to be more compassionate. This is gonna stop if I have to stop it myself.
Yeah.
That was a thing.
That's Phil Collins.
That was a thing.
Hey guys, have you been taking your Ritalin? Huh? No, we're not actually gonna take that stuff. No, dude, you gotta try it. It makes you feel good.
The head movement's so smooth.
In my day, if we didn't pay attention, we got a belt to the bottom. Now they try to cure everything with drugs.
Yes, but now we don't have any homework, so we can go see Timmy play downtown at Mile High Stadium. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh, it makes me sick. Those damn psychologists prescribe all kind of medicines to you children without even caring about the side effects.
But there are no side effects, Chef. No, none at all. Did you guys see that? See what?
Here's your host, Kurt Loder. Why am I still doing this?
Well, I think the sad question is, where are the parents in all this? I mean, that kid's parents are letting him be exploited, and they don't even seem to care.
And so Phil Collins decided to travel to South Park and personally pay Timmy's parents a visit.
Well, I mean, why are you letting him do this to your son? Don't you see that everyone's just laughing at him?
Richard!
How did this happen?
Phil Collins warns that a novelty band that makes fun of the handicap should not be allowed to play Lollapalooza, and vows to do everything in his power to stop it. Phil Collins, by the way, divorced his wife by fax and then married a 27-year-old. Let's settle down. I mean it. I want quiet.
Why is Mr. Garrison like this?
It's the worst.
All right, children. Today we're going to learn about human reproduction, vaginas, penises, butt sex. Damn it, Eric! Don't you have some smart-ass thing to say?
What kind of smart-ass thing would I say, Mr. Garrison?
This is driving me crazy. I can't handle you little bastards being so mellow.
Gee, you seem a little stressed, Mr. Garrison. Why don't you try some Ritalin?
Honestly, sure. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Boy.
No more Mr. Garrison.
It's time to die.
Nice to meet you. I'm Phil Collins.
Oh, yeah, you're opening for us at Lollapalooza.
I just wanted to tell you that, well, I think you're a great guitar player and songwriter.
Oh, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Gotta run.
It's too bad those other guys are holding you back. Huh? Well, I mean, it's obvious all the talent and
wow.
vision of the band comes from you. Strange how everyone focuses on Timmy, isn't it?
The name of the band is Timmy and the Lords of the Underworld, not just Timmy.
Timmy!
And the Lords of the Underworld.
Timmy!
It's always about you, isn't it? I'm
Oh,
sick of it.
Skylar.
Timmy gets all the applause. Timmy gets all the chicks. Well, you know what? Forget you, man.
Timmy's what made our band famous.
Shut up, Malty. You can stay and deal with Mr.
love his
Egomaniac here, but I'm moving on. I don't need Timmy. I'm going solo.
No.
Timmy!
No, don't try and stop me, man. I'll see you on Fame's backside.
Terrence, what brand of pants am I wearing? Let me see.
Oh,
It's been a while.
How do you like that, Terrence?
Let's watch something else. Yes.
He actually looked better, actually.
Yeah.
So it's decided.
Eating
Phil
straight out of the
Collins
fucking pan.
Parliament. Hooray. Uh-oh. Oh, still.
Oh no!
So that's why he's eating out of the pan.
Kenny, bastard.
Parents, I call you all together because I think you might be making a mistake putting your children on risk.
This treatment is fast and effective and doesn't use harmful drugs. Watch closely as I apply treatment to the first child.
I want a horse, I want a big brown horse with a fluffy black tail with a diamond tiara.
Sit down and study! Sit down and study!
Is Mr. Garrison always right?
Apparently.
Stop crying and do your schoolwork!
If you would like more information on my bold new treatments, please send away for this free brochure entitled, "You Can Either Calm Down or I Can Pop You in the Mouth." Thank you.
Well, what do you think? I
can definitely see that's how Chef grew up.
Oh yeah.
That video had pretty colors.
It sure did.
What the? Damn it! Have you all been taking your children's Ritalin too?
Yes.
Ah, fudge it.
Chef, are you going to the Phil Collins concert tomorrow?
The what?
Phil Collins is playing Lollapalooza, and because we're all doing so well in school now, our parents said they would take us.
Yes!
Hold on a second. You children want to go see Phil Collins? Oh my God!
Come, sing it with us. Yes.
And for every one child that actually needs it, you give it to 50,000 that don't.
Hey now, don't tell us our business, Mr. Chef. Why, we...
Damn right I tell you your business because you two have got your heads up your asses. Thanks to you, we have children in our town that like Phil Collins.
Phil Collins, my God.
Well, how do we reverse the riddle?
It's a compound called Riddle Out.
So bad. God.
Here, we can put the Ritalin antidote in these
Oh, it's
drinks
Mr.
and
Derp.
give them out to the children. I'd like to sing the complex and amazing song that won me the Oscar.
Oh,
the
no.
song entitled "You'll Be In
Oh
Me."
no.
Thanks. You'll be inside of me. Deep inside of me. So deep inside, I can feel you.
Because I'll admit, this is Phil Collins' fault.
Yeah.
Come on, drink it down.
This is so much heavier than I was expecting.
Side of me. No! Wait a minute. Phil Collins sucks ass. Yeah! What the hell were we thinking? Boo!
I think it's working. Shut your filthy holes, you little bastards.
Get off the stage, Phil Collins. We want Timmy. Yeah!
You just want to laugh at him.
No. You see, we learned something today. Yeah, sure, we laughed at Timmy, but what's wrong with laughter? Just because we laugh at something doesn't mean we don't care about it. Timmy made us smile, and playing made Timmy smile. So where was the harm in that? The people that are wrong are the ones that think people like Timmy should be protected and kept out of the public's eye. The cool thing about Timmy being in a band was that he was in your face, and you had to deal with him, whether you laughed or cried or felt nothing. That's why Timmy rules. Yeah! Timmy! 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 Timmy!
Oh, so now that they want us, you think you can just waltz back into our lives and be in the band again?
Don't expect anything. Timmy, I just wanted to say we had some pretty rockin' times, dude. Maybe I let Fame and Phil Collins go to my head.
Timmy!
The reunion tour of Timmy.
Timmy! And Lords of the Underworld!
Oh wow.
Timmy!
through that shit for a second.
Yeah.
The riddle out is MDMA.
Put me down, you filthy bastard!
By the way, this song it was actually in Rock Band.
Oh,
I think
really?
it was in the original Rock Band. I love that song so much.
It is good.
It's like, it's Timmy just having the, like, you know, only being able to say his name, or what essentially sounds like living large. I always feel like it sounds like, but it sounds like sound bites being used, because it's like a really interesting like rock and roll and electronic sound.
Yeah.
Like without actually any electronic to it. But yeah, for the episode overall, what would you rate it?
I'll give it a 9 out of 10.
Really, I would give this episode a 5 out of 10.
Really?
Yeah, I felt like there was a lot. There's like all the Timmy stuff I really liked. All the other stuff, man, I thought some of it was funny, but it was 5 out of 10 fun. It was average for South Park.
True.
I have to always think about, like, the average South Park episode to me is also pretty good. So like you know, a 5 out of 10 is still good.
Also, I was cresting off of the ending, but I kind of forgot about all of the entire parent side plot. I guess the entire Riddler side plot.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I guess I'm going to reduce it to a 7.
To a 7?
Yeah.
Okay. Down from a 9 to a 7.
I forgot how I was about the Riddler side plots.
Like, I like it because I relate to it a lot. I have ADHD, but then, like, you know, I was put on Ritalin, and it was fucking terrible. I would so much rather just not be on ADHD. I mean, like... on Ritalin, yeah. Yeah, but there are, even aside from, like, ways that I have dealt with it now, like, it just in general, I would much rather have not been on Ritalin than have been on Ritalin. And some people actually need it because it's a lot more severe. But for someone who has what I would call probably the average person's ADHD, a kid who is diagnosed with ADHD because they are a little bit hyper, you know, the kids who are arguably badly diagnosed with ADHD. Maybe I have it, maybe I don't, but I have been diagnosed with it. And it's like, was I over-diagnosed? I don't know.
Right.
You know, but either way, it made me, like it kills your energy. It made me not want to, like, ever eat anything. I would go, like, you know, 12 hours without eating sometimes. I mean, sometimes I still do that. But that's usually out of laziness rather than, like, having no appetite. It's usually like, I am very hungry, I just don't want to go walk out to get something to eat.
I see.
But yeah, it was just, in general, real bad time. And so my mom, like, got me back off, like, just took me off of it. And was just like, yeah, he's fine without it. But, so I relate to a lot to that part of it, but, yeah, not that funny.
Yeah. Do you think that beatings are a substitute for Ritalin?
No, I mean, I think the quiet down, I'm gonna pop you in the mouth is, I don't think they're, serious about that. I think that's Chef. Like, I think Chef is not necessarily always the voice of reason.
I'd say he's honestly not very often the voice of reason.
No.
Like, he kind of goes in and out. It's between being the voice of reason and being just like, the kids go to him and he says something insane.
He's very, like, the old way kind of guy.
Yeah.
He's like, all this, the way you're doing it now is terrible. We should do it my way. He's kind of like Jimbo and Ned, but, like, for, like, in terms of, like, they'll have, like, an extremely opposite opinion from everybody else in the town, even if it's also wrong.
Yeah.
And, like, I feel like Chef is like that, but in a different, like, not like conservative sense, but just in a back in my day kind of sense.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say boomer, because it's not like Chef has, like, a boomer mentality or anything like that.
No.
But it is more of a, like, Chef has a very, like, this is what it means to be a man sort of thing.
Sure.
He's a very man's man sort of approach to things.
Yeah.
What else do you want to say about this episode? Let's talk about, like, the Timmy thing in general. Like, there are so many like, I think as far as bands, I know there is like a band that has a disabled person as like the lead singer, and I know that's also like what they were talking about, like talking about Timmy as the character in the show, but they're also talking about that band. I'm not sure what band it is. Okay, I don't listen to it. I'll check my notes in a second.
Not familiar,
but I know I think there's a couple bands like that as well. But either way, I'm more familiar with it with like comedians. There's plenty of comedians I watch that have like a stutter or have like just are like disabled, like have a various types of mental disabilities that affect their speech.
Okay.
Like Down syndrome is like an easy one, but plenty of things like that. Where it is a point like there's so many like. As we talked about in the very first episode of the season, there's so many different perspectives everybody has on that. Yeah. It's never even like the two sides that everybody always takes. Like, I think the most prevalent one is people, and the most annoying to me is people saying like, oh, like people are only watching this because this person has a stutter, or they're only laughing at this person because they have a stutter, or like. These jokes aren't funny and people are only laughing because they're pitying them or whatever, blah, blah. And I think, like, the best way to, counter that is what they said at the end of this episode, which is, like, no matter how you feel about it, it is, like, even if you were someone who is like, oh, I hate this because it's disrespectful, or, oh, I hate this because it feels so inclusionary, or whatever, it forces you to face it.
Yeah.
It's right there, it's on the surface, and you can't pretend it's not there.
Yeah.
You can't separate the artist from the art in that sense. Especially when a lot of times they like their comedy incorporates their disabilities and stuff too. So it's like really you can't like you want to try and like listen to it audio only. That ain't gonna help either, buddy. Yeah. So do you have any experience with like that sort of stuff? What's your stance on that?
I'd say I'm pro people with disabilities doing stuff if they want to. Yeah. Like, I think the most famous Canadian example is Frankie. He is a weatherman out in Nova Scotia. He has his own YouTube channel. And, like, he just kind of goes out and does the weather, but, like, for different places.
Okay.
And, like, we've gone...
Is he the meme guy?
Probably the meme guy. I don't know who you're talking about. I don't know if he's reached meme status yet.
I'm thinking of he's got, like, big buck front teeth, and, it was like raining out, and he has a very strong. I can't remember. It's been so long. That was like an old 2000s thing. But I actually think I know who you're talking about.
You might.
Like, was it an extremely loud, constantly yelling the weather? I do think I know who you're talking about. Yeah. I think I've only seen like the one video that was like passed around a lot.
Okay.
Because it was like I think during like a weather storm or whatever, so it's like even more like just screaming the weather.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the one he really broke out with.
Yeah.
And like he's pretty popular. He's got like bobbleheads and stuff now.
Yeah.
And regardless of how you feel, regardless of how, whether you go to the channel because you like the fact that he screams the weather, or whether you just like that he tells the weather,
the same thing. I guess, whether you find it funny the way he does it, or whether you are, just there for the actual weather.
Yeah. He enjoys it. He is creating content that people are consuming. I don't really see a negative to it. It's not something that brings down the perception of people like him.
Yeah.
If anything, he is stating, I am like this, and I can be a weatherman if I want to.
Or, Tourette's is a really good example, too, of a disability that a lot of people who have it will incorporate it into their, comedy routine as yes, it is funny that I have Tourette's. Inherently, me just having Tourette's is funny.
Yeah.
When I say fuck randomly, it is funny.
Yeah.
I think that is also what I was talking about. There's some things where it's it is just inherently funny on a visceral human level.
Yeah.
And you can't get away from that. It's you see somebody fall down and you laugh. And you shouldn't laugh.
Yeah.
But it's what it is. It's always funny to see somebody fall down. So I think there's a little bit of accepting that as well.
I can see that, that's for sure.
Yeah. Let me look at my notes.
Please. Man, there's got to be some spicy stuff in here.
Oh, sure. Wesley Willis is the the person I'm thinking of. I'm not sure if you know who this guy is.
I have
at all.
no idea who this is.
But yeah, he was he has schizophrenia, and he was also handicapped in another way.
Okay.
I think, but I'm not sure what. But either way, yeah, I'm unfamiliar with him. I have not listened to him or anyway, but I do know that that was popular around this time as well. Oh, the guy on the MTV segment still working at MTV in 2020 right now. But I gotta say though, we didn't talk about that MTV segment. Lame. This whole episode, there's a lot of like salt that just wasn't funny. They do insults funny plenty of times. They make fun of celebrities, and it's like it can be funny. There's plenty of times where they've made fun of like celebrities. You don't even know who the celebrity is, and it's still funny.
Yeah.
But man, this stuff was just like it felt like just. It wasn't very fun. It was the Phil Collins stuff was funny to me because it was happening. Just because of like, man, this is funny that this is just like in the episode and they thought this was funny. It's just not that funny. It's just so like petty.
It was a very like the Phil Collins to comedy chart was very wiggly for me. Yeah. Because every once in a while I would get the feeling of I can't believe they're doing this. Like, this isn't funny. This is just Phil Collins says the thing, and then some guy shows up in the background and yells at him.
It's weird. But,
he's also carrying the Oscar around all the time.
Yeah, that was Mr. Derp. That I saw in the background there.
He's returning. He's going to be important.
He's still here.
He was doing a food job. It's canon.
But that's all the trivia I have, actually.
Really?
Not a lot of trivia. Like, not a lot of trivia that I didn't already say.
Sure.
You know, like I already said, it was a rock band. It was a blah, blah, blah. I've already said stuff like that.
All right.
Anything about the episode? Oh, we saw Timmy's parents.
We did.
So, like, their whole family is, we don't know exactly what's going on with Timmy, but they're all disabled in whatever that way is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think we touched on everything else. So, just want to end it here.
Yeah, it was good.
All right. See you guys for the next one. Until then, get the fuck out of here.